And this is a personal experience. So I'm recording now. And tell me, your first name and last name and the spelling.
My name is Kristen Jones. It's KristenJones.
And your occupation is a nurse?
I'm a registered nurse.
Okay. And when did you have breast implants put in, and what kind?
The first time I had them placed in my body was in 2005, and they were Mentor smooth saline, so they weren't, silicone or anything. That was what I was considered. I was considered, well, that was what was considered safe, saline or safe, And then, and I really didn't have any issues, but then I had them removed and replaced in 2013 just because I wanted to have a smaller look and a smaller implant. And ever since I've had them replaced with the exact same implants, Mentor Smooth Saline, my health just started taking a decline ever since then.
What sort of symptoms do you had you experienced?
So I have you could just tell my whole body was inflamed. My face looked puffy all the time. Really bad exhaustion and fatigue, joint pain, muscle pain, aches. I felt like I was 80. Like I just felt horrible. I felt old, and like I felt like my body was falling apart. And I had horrible headaches daily, all day long. I would take Tylenol and Motrin all day long because I could not get rid of my headache. And what else? There was also night sweats, and just random hot flashes throughout the day. And it was almost like I had a hormone imbalance or a thyroid imbalance, but I'm only 40, so I'm not quite at that point yet. So I knew that probably wasn't it.
What did you ascribe those symptoms to then? Did you see a doctor?
Yeah, I've seen a doctor. I saw my regular general practitioner. My hormones were pretty much within normal range. My thyroid was a tiny bit on the sluggish side, but nothing major. All my blood work pretty much looked normal, so there wasn't anything to diagnose me with, like, officially.
That must have been exasperating if you felt so bad.
Sure. I mean, if you're, trying to find out what's wrong with you and everything looks pretty normal on paper, there's nothing really that they can do for you. So that's when I decided to just kind of do my own thing, and I thought, by taking the implants out, just maybe I would feel better. I didn't even care if it didn't. It was worth a try, and it actually did. I haven't had a single headache. Well, I've had one or two, but since my surgery, I haven't had the all-day, everyday headaches that I was having, which that was a huge, revelation for me, because I was ready to see a neurologist about the headaches if this didn't, resolve the issue, and it did. And so to me, it just shows that my body was, not tolerating this foreign object in my body, and I was probably just having some sort of, systemic reaction to, foreign object.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more. How soon did the symptoms subside, and did all of the symptoms subside?
Okay, so my headaches, I didn't have a headache ever since my surgery. Probably, I had maybe 3 headaches since my surgery. My surgery was 8 months ago, so my surgery was May 2018. So from going from all day, everyday headaches to having 1 or 2 headaches in a 6-month period, that's it's huge. And then the night sweats and the hot flashes totally stopped about 2 months after my surgery. I was having them less and less, and now I can honestly say that I haven't had any at all.
Now you feel fully healthy again.
I feel probably 90% better. I still have some fatigue and a couple of small things that don't bother me very much. But yeah, I feel about 90% better than I did with my implants.
What did the explant surgeon say, or was he the same one or she who put in the implants?
No, I went to a surgeon in Houston because I did about a year's worth of research to find out who I wanted to trust to do my explant surgery, and I didn't trust anybody in San Antonio to do that particular surgery just based on all the research I did. So I traveled to Houston, and I went to Dr. Bruce Rogers in Katy, and he basically just told me, he doesn't know about breast implant illness per se, but he said from what he has seen, the ladies that come to him complaining of all these symptoms and wanting their breast implants out, he said he's seen most of them report that their health has gotten better. And he said, I really can't deny that this might be an issue because of what I see, So he's not like fully admitting that breast implant illness exists because he still places, implants in people. I mean, but he does the number of explant, cases that he has like just grown exponentially in the last, I think he said the last 2 years.
And the Jamie Cook said that the these surgeons are reluctant because they make more money with implants, and because with implants you have to have so much follow-up in the years that you have them, rather with explants they're out and then you don't see these guys again.
And you never have to have them replaced, you're done, but when you have implants, you're kind of committed to, I think they say every 10 years that you need to have them, that you should have them replaced. So so you're going to have, clients coming back for more surgeries,
Yeah, and follow-up care and all of that. So do you talk to other women who are in this group who've had this? Yeah. And I guess when you guys get together, it's like really you're bonded.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've all been through the same exact symptoms. Some more severe than others, Some just don't feel right. They don't feel well, but some are actually bedbound. I mean, a lot of these women are really sick.
And is it hard to fight the medical community on this issue? Is it it's starting to swell, isn't it? Huh?
It is, and I don't really try to even talk to any doctors about it because I know that they'll pretty much just kind of deny that is even a real thing. There's some physicians that I've spoken to that absolutely believe that a foreign object in your body could cause these symptoms. There's one physician that I work with here at the hospital I work with, and she I spoke with her about my experience, and she said, Kristen, I absolutely agree. I believe that those things could absolutely cause those symptoms and could cause even autoimmune, issues and, other things.
So it is sort of, I guess that's why you want to get the word out in case other women are suffering so that they know to take them out. I mean, I don't see what the problem is really, because with any surgery like a hip implant or other things that are put into the body, not all patients react the same. Some will reject the foreign body. That's just medicine.
Mm-hmm. And there's actually a documentary on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called The Bleeding Edge. And it came out about 6 months ago, I believe. But if you watch that, I mean, oh my gosh, your jaw will be on the ground. It's basically all different types of implantable devices that all these different people have had experiences with. Like one doctor, he's actually a physician. He had a hip replacement with I think it was a titanium hip replacement, and he ended up with symptoms that were just totally unexplainable, like right after surgery. And then once he kind of figured that might be part of the issue, he had his hip replacement with a different type of material. I think it was something maybe of plastic. I don't know major, but some other material, and his symptoms had just disappeared right after he had that replaced. So yeah. And there's other people with mesh they have mesh implanted who have had all kinds of strange symptoms.
Yeah,
It's a
because
really interesting documentary if you want to check it out.
absolutely. Yeah, I have a friend who had the same with the hip thing. So I don't understand what the uproar is on the doctor's side because, you know, the body's organic. If it rejects something, that's just the way that it is. But I imagine they're somewhat vested into, for example, I interviewed a plastic surgeon and she has invested into the Ideal implant business. And so she disclosed that, but I would think that there's a strong monetary link. Maybe that's underneath all of this.
I think it's absolutely part of it. I think a lot of these physicians have contracts with certain implant manufacturers, and they make a lot of money. There's a lot of money tied up in that business, you know.
Yeah. You know, that's American medicine for you, which is a much bigger picture. And you being in the business, you would know. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add? Advice for women who might be suspicious of their implants?
I just think that if you have symptoms that you can't quite pin to anything in particular and you have implants, it is a foreign object in your body. And, you know, just the fact that it's a foreign object in your body, of course it could cause, you know, wreak havoc on your whole entire system. You know, your body is trying to fight against this foreign object, and it wears your immune system down because your immune system's constantly trying to fight off this object in there. I don't know if you've seen the capsules that develop around implants almost immediately after they're placed.
Yeah, encapsulation. The body's trying to wall off this thing. That's what the plastic surgeon did explain.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, that just right there is showing that your body is trying so hard to protect itself against this foreign object. And, I mean, you know. Yeah. You're right. Not all women not all women are affected by it, but,
some of them are.
A percentage of us are, and, you know.
What? So when they remove them, what did they find? Because I occasionally watch Botched, and they'll pull out this shriveled piece of plastic that doesn't have any roundness left at all. What did yours look like when you got them back?
He removed my implants, EN BLOC, which is EN BLOC, which is the procedure that all of us are encouraged to seek out, because a lot of surgeons, they're untrained on how to do explant surgeries properly. Will just deflate the implant inside the body and just remove the bag, and that's just not the proper way. I mean, you need to do it EN BLOC, which means removing the entire implant intact with the capsule intact.
Yes. Okay.
That's the proper way to do it. So.
Would you say explant surgery is sort of relatively not new, but not...
It's way more popular now, yeah.
Okay.
My surgeon I know alone has just gotten inundated with requests for explants, and he does a really, really good job at an EN BLOC procedure.
Okay.
And that's part of the reason why I had to travel to Katy, because I don't think anyone in San Antonio really knows how to do that particular procedure, you know.
Okay. And when you saw them, what did they look like? Were they still full? They hadn't ruptured?
No, they were still full. They actually looked very normal.
Okay.
The capsule looked normal. Everything looked normal. It didn't look weird at all. Yeah.
So you were lucky that they hadn't ruptured, because that's sort of emergency surgery, or I would think.
Yeah, you want to get that fixed as soon as possible, I'm sure.
Yeah.
To work a rupture. Especially
and of course,
if it was silicone. If it was silicone, for sure.
Yeah, and of course,
you don't want silicone in your body.
No, and of course, you'll have to pay for all of this yourself. But the idea for silicone originally was because silicone was found to be inert in the body, and so they thought it could inhabit the body successfully. But that seems to be shifting or changing, or
and all implants have a silicone shell. Like even saline implants have a silicone shell. So
right,
there's a silicone component to the saline implant.
Okay, and last question. I've seen saline implants though online, and some had
mold.
Yeah. I was shocked.
Yeah, there was one lady who posted a picture of her implants after she had them removed just a couple days ago, and it was shocking. Like her capsules looked almost like they had infected, gooey, like just material all around them. They looked they'd been oozing some pretty nasty, pussy looking kind of stuff. And I told her, I was like, you need to get those pictures to the media. That's crazy, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for your time.
Sure.
In case